Well, that's frustrating. There we go. There. So my mic was on. My OBS has just decided to be a pain in the ass. So, um, ah, I did all kinds of talking to myself just there, which is hilarious. Not the first time I've done it. Um, yeah, I was just saying how Thursdays seem to be like I it's my longest set for streaming, and it's the day that everybody's the busiest. And I might be sitting down and looking at stream times and seeing if I can. They won't be any earlier than 9 or 10 o'clock. Like they won't be any earlier, and they can't really be too much later because I do have like I have to get ready for work and stuff like that. So, but I try to find a nice balance, and I do try to take in consideration um, other people I know that are streaming around the same time. So it's sometimes it's rough. Yeah. Um, so when I first hopped on, I managed to distract myself, and I didn't. It was 10 stitches that I'd been working on prior to stream starting, and I still didn't get it done. But now that that color's done, um, oh, it's even done for the page, which is kind of cool. Let me mark that off. We're working on 904, and we're gonna get that done for the page. We're gonna get 904 done for the page, and then we're gonna wander over to 905. And after that, oh, okay. There is at least after 904. There's two more colors, so I will have the opportunity to tackle some of the smaller alone colors. Ooh. I'm looking. I'm trying to find because I have 904 doesn't have a whole lot left. There's an area in here and an area in here that has it all over the place. So I'm trying to. It goes up here. So okay. I'm pondering how much jumping around I want to do. And the answer is going to be not a whole lot. I'm going to reach over here, which it's not a far reach. It's not out of what I would normally do. I'm going to fill in all these little spots. And then I'm going to go back up and continue my travels down this area. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna. So does husband creature. Like the husband creature has the crud. Um, I got scuffed with the crud. I did not. I have theories about like the crud and my existence because yeah, there were a lot of people. There are a lot of people down and out at work with the crud. Oh, going to bed. I love you. I get that. I really do. I saw. Let's see. I saw a meme yesterday. That's Let me. Or actually, it was a post I shared. Let me see if I can find it. And lists like perfectly encapsulates people with chronic illnesses. Eh. Okay, so chronic illness is weird that if a healthy person got ill for a week with the symptoms I deal with every single day, they'd likely rest and do the bare minimum for that week. But because my symptoms are forever, I'm meant to live life as normal no matter how dreadful I feel. And I can't say that loud enough. I thought of Jules, I thought of Dragon, I thought of everybody that I know with chronic illnesses, myself included, when I read that. And it's so true. Like, it's not that I don't want to work. There are just some days. Geesh. I'm gonna have I'm gonna have to sit down and look at my ad settings then. Sorry. Let's see. I see the Okay, I do see that I'm back. But a normal person who gets got the same symptoms that anyone with any sort of chronic illness deals with, if a normal person had those just for a week, they likely get to rest and relax for that week and not have to do too much because people would be like, oh, they don't feel good. But as people who hold the chronic illness and it's chronic, people, it can't be cured and it is for the rest of our lives. In almost 30 some odd years, you would not believe how many people I've had to explain that to about my diabetes. It is chronic. I cannot cure it. It is not the type 2, it is type 1. And I don't I have I'm expected to live a normal life because normal life. I'm expected to act normal. Like I don't hurt, like I'm not tired, like a low blood sugar doesn't send me reeling. I'm expected to uphold the social norm. But if someone were to get sick with the flu, they're allowed to be a potato for a week. And um and I like to work. I like to do stuff. I like to be productive and I like to contribute to society, my community, and to help others. But there are just some days where I just need a pass. Like I just need to not. And while yes, I might still sit still and like do my crochet or do my cross stitch, it's because unfortunately with the ADHD, my brain doesn't shut up. And that's a whole nother issue. Like when you have the meat suit that's like fuck you, I'm not moving. And then you have your brain that is going 50 billion miles an hour, or as I like to say, mock Jesus. You don't get people who understand about that. Ah, I need to my framework is bothering me. I changed it for something or other, and there we go. Not that you guys need to see the edge of my. Not that you need to see the edge of the project, but you're gonna. Yeah, yeah. Well, the days you can hear your body just laughing at you is those are the most favorite of days. You so funny. Yeah, I get that. Nope. Yeah. uh, and sometimes, sometimes I feel that that's the only reason I can get things done, is that I do it, and the tism sets that routine in place, so it motivates the brain and kind of just forces the body. Um, and that's why, like, when I don't stream, I feel bad about calling Rule Zero, because my brain is going, you do this every week. You know that if you don't do this week, next week it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be the struggle bus for you to get on and do this, and it will. Like, I had stuff I had to do on Monday, so fortunately that won't hit my struggle bus too hard. But those days that I took Rule Zero just because I was exhausted, it was a struggle. Like, I'm like, no, or August through December of last year, where I was just barely streaming. It's like, so yeah, oh yeah, I was when my when my microphone was off, I was talking to myself. I was telling a story about how I had to actually be a supervisor on Tuesday, and how who how what I did, kind of, I shot myself in the foot, but at the same time, no regrets. So I have a coworker whose father is in the hospital, who has chosen to stop treating his cancer. He's made choices that are very difficult for people who are not in the situation to understand. I I appreciate my brain going, "Hey, it's their choice. Yes, you're allowed to be upset, but that's their body, their choice that they are making these decisions for." And sometimes it's hard for other people to grasp and understand. And my coworker just happens to be one of those people that's like, why is he doing this? Why did he make these choices? It's not fair to me. And I know that happens, and I'm not sure, I don't understand why, but I know that that happens. So Tuesday, I had to put on my supervisor voice, which I am so uncomfortable doing. And I went, and I was talking to her, and I'm like, look, I need you to think about this, and this is going to be a mean sounding question. Because she was breaking the rules for residents, because she was like, oh, they're in such pain, they can't do this, they can't do that. And we have rules that, and protocols, and stuff we have to do if these things happen. And this particular coworker just kind of ignored all of that and did what she wanted. And she's like, well, I'll get fired if that's. I'm like, we're not going to fire you, but we are going to have a conversation. And I need to ask you this question, and I need you to think about it. How much of your kindness right now, or what you perceive as kindness, because it's not really helping anybody except her conscience, Um, how much of this is coming from your lack of control with the situation with your dad? And it is a hard question. I know that it hit her like a ton of bricks, but I made her think about it. And I have no regrets. I feel awful for her. I can't control what's going on in her life, but I can control how how her perceived kindness can ruin the remainder of the years that the people we work with are there. And so she called out yesterday, and instead of being on desk and bath and showers, I was on two carts and doing bath and showers. So the team that remained, we all pooled together. We got everybody who needed a bath and a shower. We got that all done. We all worked together. We're all cranky old ladies anyway. I was yesterday. I was the youngest at 42, in the crew. And it was just so funny. But we got it all done, and we were cranky old ladies about it later on. Um, but it was just I, I'm sitting here thinking I'm the youngest on my shift. I'm the youngest on my 3 to 11 shift, and I'm the boss, which is terrifying. Why do people put me in charge of things? When did I become the responsible adult? I ask my boss that every time I have to work. I'm like, and when did I become the responsible adult? She's like, knock that off. Because it's true. You gotta stop and think about it. Anybody who's been watching me for any span of time, they gave her power. I'm a straw boss. I really actually can't do anything. But I try to make sure that people I'm working with um are confident. Like I want to, like, even though on my shift everybody everybody let's see. I have I have 5 people on my shift. Um 2 are semi-retired. One is almost retired. And then there's me and my coworker that I had words with. That's it's so scary that I'm the responsible adult. Like, if you guys only knew. If you only knew. I'm so incredibly impish. It's not even funny. So I have so on February and March's gift, because it's gonna be 2 EVs. It's gonna be 2 evolutions. Um, Umbreon is almost done. I have ears and tail left to do, to create, and then I have to sew them together. Um, and they're gonna be roughly the size of a small cat. Um, but I have Umbreon that I'm going to do, and I still haven't decided what the other one's going to be. Um, but Umbreon is the dark psychic one. For those of you who are not familiar with Pokemon, it's black and yellow. I even went and got the yellow felt, only to realize that I need some red felt. So I get to go to the craft store on Saturday. you you guys have kids. Notice I have dogs. The things that I'm responsible for, I can put in cages. I'm sorry. You guys are more responsible than I am. You have managed to bring another life into this world and keep it alive for several years. You grew that life. You nurtured that life. And most of the time they're reasonable creatures. My body somewhere in time went, by the way, you're not responsible enough. We're gonna take this away from you. There are big cages. You just can't keep them in there. I don't keep my dogs in cages. Only only when we leave the house because they're terrors. Baby gates are giant cages. Now you have me giggling. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, door-sized baby gates. And as usual, for my super long stream at 11, I am going to take a short break to go downstairs. It hasn't been fucking cold, so it's not as bad to go down and check the stove. House stays pretty warm. Today's actually the first day in a week that I've been wearing my blanket. No, they are for safety. Like, it's just kind of like with the harnesses and the leashes. I support those because if you have it gives kids a little bit of freedom and autonomy, but at the same time, they can't bolt out into traffic. Um, I get it. Oh, mm-mm-mm. I remember I had and I only just recently like was thinking about it and remembering it is I didn't have like a full on leash. I had a my mom. It was a cuff. It was just Velcro. Luckily, I wasn't like a child who was trying to escape. Um, but it was a wrist cuff, and it was like a telephone cord. For those of you who are old enough to remember what those are, um, and that's what I had is I had one of those on my wrist. Or like when we were in parks, my parents would put my sister and I together so that we couldn't really go anywhere because my sister was more of a runner than I was. Okay, there's that. I didn't set any like weird goals for today. I'm just kind of I don't even want to say weird goals. I want to get to I want to get 904 all done, and we'll see where we get on 905. But I can't believe Friday's the end of the month. Jeez. I, yeah, I am a huge fan. If parents know their kids, for the most part, parents know their kids. Um, there's nothing wrong if it's a safety harness, like it goes around their chest and their shoulders and like latches here or in the back. I'd suggest in the back so they can't get it. Um, it's a safety harness like a rock climber's harness, and you attach it to essentially a lunge line, and and it allows for some autonomy, but it also allows for the parent to have control and knowledge of where their child is. Oh, that's kind of cool. I I'm not saying that I was an angel growing up because I definitely was not. I've always been a mouthy child. I've, I, the fact I don't run. I'm not really a fighter, but I am antagonistic and I am very, very mouthy. Um, and whoever is husband creature is a saint. I keep hearing such amazing things. Oh, he's so nice. He's such a sweet man. You're so lucky to have him. I'm like, I am. And he's so nice and caring and kind. He also has to put up with me, so he's very patient. And they're like, oh, you're not that bad. I'm like, here I'm fantastic and I love you guys and I take care of you. But at home, I am mouthy and he is a saint. He is a saint for being able to put up with me. Yes, the handle. I approve. I approve of all these things. Like you can call me a monster if you want, but it is for that child's safety. If I could, if I could have one for some of some of the adults I used to work with, for some of the adults that I used to work with, the residents where I work right now, they don't move so fast, so I can catch them. But uh, it, it's for safety. I'm not like I would never. I'm not the kind of person who would use it to inhibit or control without due cause. And I think that that's the difference because like when I train my dogs, um, I use I use chains and I use a prong collar. Now I don't I don't use the shock collars because that those can malfunction and those just aren't as effective. At least not with the dogs that I have. Um, but with the prong collars and the choke chains, um, they are intended for a short, fast correction. And if people use them properly, they are a great training tool. Now, I have to use the prongs on my shepherds that I've had the past 15 years. I've had to use the prongs because the choke chains just don't have enough of an oomph. I've had dogs that are too sensitive that the prong collars like terrify them and traumatize them. I would never do that to a dog. So that the choke chains are the next step down. And if that still is traumatizing for them, it is called a it starts with an M. It's a nylon collar, um, and it's a wide band, but it has the ability to have the correction, but it doesn't have the oomph or the pinch that the chains have. And I can't. It's gonna drive me bananas. She likes to elope. You have to use big words to confuse the poor people. She likes to elope. She is a flight risk. Make them feel really dumb. And it's unfortunate that people abuse things that could have greater good outcomes. Um, it's like when I talk, when I say that individuals with disabilities might not be able to do like cognitive and physical disabilities. might not be able to do some big heavy thing, but they could still do like putting something like picking vegetables out of a farm field. Now, when I say that, it conjures in my brain. It conjures like abuse, neglect, because that's what happened. Is is society went, oh well, you're not good for anything. We're just gonna put you in a field, have you pick fruit, and we're gonna pay you next to nothing because you're an idiot. And that's what that saying that conjures. But at the same time, as a society, at least here in the states, it's like, oh well, we can't pay for them. Blah 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 blah. It's like, well, you haven't found what they're good at yet, then. Oh, oh, what am I loving? Uh, yeah, because when you say elope, you think running off to get married, but it's just the running off part that's being utilized there. Like that, society is fucked up right now. At least here in my small little world. Okay. Whew. Hey Jules, it's the you and me show for now. Remember back in the day when it was the you and me show? I love it. Okay. I'm closing in on this color. Okay. I'm almost done this color on the page. I'm unfortunately gonna have to start a new piece of string because there's lots of jumping, jump around. I'm gonna file that. So because of my thyroid issue, my nails are shit. Oh, let me scroll up on that. That's amazing. Then and that needs to happen more. Like I know that there are some individuals who they unfortunately have disabilities so severe that that they aren't going to be what we consider productive members of society, and that's okay. That's okay. Um, they can hang around and they can exist and be human beings like that. That's okay. Um, but too many people give up. They don't even give people a chance, and that's what bothers me. Is everybody deserves a chance. Because unfortunately our social monkey brains are ingrained. Even if they're social monkey brains that are different, they're ingrained with the desire to fit in. As wonky as I am, I want to fit in. I want to be part of a community. I want to be accepted. And fortunately, there are enough human beings on this planet that I found at least 3 or 4 as weird as I am. But so many of the individuals with disabilities who are sequestered into group homes, they're not given access to technology. They're not given the opportunities, and it's so frustrating. And then in the same breath of air, the people not giving them these things complain that they're not doing anything. And it's like, you haven't given them the chance. And I'm not saying that we should be like giving them the codes to the nuclear weapons, but we already did that here in the United States. We gave someone who probably shouldn't have that level of responsibility the nuclear key codes. Yeah. And then there's the what I run into and what I ran into a lot working with that population is that the people who are supervising or who are making sure that everything is running smoothly have something in their brains that's like, it has to be done this way. It has to be done this way. Instead of letting people, the dignity of risk is what it's called. It is called dignity of risk, and what it is allowing people to fail safely, to learn how to do it, how it works for them. Um, Letting someone who's a little off balance learn how to roller skate. Now, don't put them in roller blades because roller blades are tipsy turvy, but they could roller skate with the bigger wheeled roller skates because those have that base. But so many people will go, no, you can't roller skate. You don't have good balance. Why not? Yeah, it's just so frustrating sometimes because I am very passionate about people being able to do what they like to do, or at least be given the opportunity to try to see if they actually want to do that thing. Gets me in trouble a lot because, again, I have a mouth. But it means so much to me for people to be able to at least try. Oh, nice. And that is equity. That is equity at its finest. I I wish I wish more people just took the time because I know there are so many people with disabilities who just want to fit in, to want to contribute. They don't want to sit around and do nothing all day. Some of them do. Some of them do, absolutely. But part of me wonders how much that is actually them and how much of it is that they are just tired of trying because society has told them that no, they suck and they can't. Because I know that if I heard Well, maybe not me because I'm stubborn and I have a special sort of fuck you in my soul. But I know that if I was continually told day after day after day, and actually it eats away at your confidence. Like my boss is telling me, she's like, "You have these skills. You can do this. You know this." And and I'm I'm terrified to like do anything with it because I don't I it's not that I don't know I know that I can do it, but I'm scared of like disappointing other people. That is so cool. That is a really cool program. I think there's I think there's some people who don't need accommodations that could utilize that. But then again, they could very well need that accommodation. Like when I talk about things that are in my brain or that I'm working through or whatnot, it's not because I want attention. Because honestly, if I could live under a rock, pay all my bills, make sure that I was alive, and still have fun, I would not I would not complain too much. But there's so much there's so much in the world that needs to be destigmatized. Um, Needing help, mental health issues are those are two really big ones. It's okay to ask for help, and it is okay if your brain doesn't work the way everybody else's seems to. I'm on the last like 5 stitches of this color, and people and people who need help need to be told that it's okay to ask. I know that when people apologize, like I'm helping them do something easy, they're apologizing. I'm like, no, if you can't do this, and you're trying, that was a conversation. So at my facility, we want our residents to try. We're not going to jump right in and give them everything that they're asking for at the drop of a hat. They need to at least try to do what they're asking us to help them with. And my boss has tried to stress that so hard that we don't it's not that we can't help them. That's not what she's saying. She's saying that they have to try. And if we do help them, we need to document it in a specific fashion. The specific fashion is called extensive assist. Um, and it's like, for example, the big one that keeps coming up is pushing someone into the dining room table. Now, if we know someone can, we are going to ask them. We're going to say, "Hey, we know you can do this. Can you try?" And once they try, they get frustrated with us. But once they try and they push themselves in, we don't have to do anything. We'll go into the documentation and say verbal cues. But the residents have it in their brain that we're just going to tell them no. And some of the staff members have it in their brain that we're to tell them no. And that's not at all what it is if a resident asks for help, we can go over there and we can prompt them and guide them through it verbally. And if ultimately it comes to, hey, they just need to be pushed in, then we'll just document it properly. But because people don't want to go through that process, they just jump to the no, we can't do that. And I've been guilty of a couple of times doing that because I just didn't want to get into a tiff with a resident. Um, but we just document it that we had to do an extensive assist on XYZ. It's not a no. It's asking someone to do something we know that they can do, because if they couldn't do it, they wouldn't have been admitted to the facility. And we want, and the reason we do this is it's not because we're trying to be mean, but the second those little skills start to slip, that's when you start sliding downhill. When your little skills start to go, is when you start slipping towards the higher level nursing homes. And I don't know about the rest of the world, but here in America, our nursing homes suck. There aren't a lot of people who are like me, who care, who genuinely treat the senior citizens that I work with. I treat them like I would want my grandmother to be treated, like my nana, like how I would want to be treated later on down the line. Is every individual that I work with and I help, I treat them how I would like to be treated. Sometimes there's some sass, but if I'm doing something dumb, I need to be sassed. And geesh, it's dark in here. It's I didn't turn on all my lights. Let me go turn on some lights. It's not a lot of light. It'll warm up after a second. But yeah, it's a hard field. But if you ever see my pretty face, taking care of one of a family member, it doesn't have to be an older family member. I've done all age groups. I treat people with the dignity and respect that they deserve. And if they need to be sassed, I'm gonna sass them. It won't be mean. There will be no abuse. Like everybody will be upright and breathing. But if I just watched you do 20 jumping jacks and then you sit down and then you can't reach the remote that's 3 feet away, I'm gonna sass you. I'll probably get it for you, but I'm gonna sass you for it. I didn't get into healthcare to have power or anything like that. There are a lot of people, unfortunately, who got into it for the wrong reasons. I have like 3 stitches left on 904. Tonight, if the state of the nation, I was only half kidding. I was only half kidding that I'd take over your peepaw's house. I'd find a job in everything. Like, I was only kind of half kidding. If it gets too bad here, like today, I sat down and I thought about it. My health insurance through my employer is actually supported through the Affordable Care Act that they are trying to gut. So my employer might stop offering insurance because, yeah. And while it's kind of shitty insurance, it's still insurance. So, yeah. It still pays for some things. And I mean, I'm certified. In all fairness, I could go into private practice, um, doing exactly that. Is home health aid. Um, I think it's all done. I think 904 is all done. 904 is all done. Yay! At least on this page, it's all done. Because it's a field that does not pay near enough for the skills that they are asking their workers to have. I am very, very very fortunate that my boss, and so are my coworkers, and I don't think they realize it, that my boss recognizes the worth of what we do. And she has fought tooth, nail, uh, claw, and she has busted her ass for us. And I recognize it because I've been in shithole companies before. That I loved what they stood for, but they treated their workers like ass. And no matter how much I tried to give the workers the respect that they deserved and that they needed, that I was told that I was doing it wrong. Um, so I appreciate my boss. Like sometimes we don't always see eye to eye, but at the same time, she values us. She knows that we are doing a lot of work. Wow, wow, that is kind of okay. 904. 904 is all done. We're going on to 905, which is another shade of green. Sorry. Sorry, that's just what we got left. So I'm just investigating how I'm going to travel through this. So 905 has a little bit up here, has a little bit over here. So it has a lot of lining over in this area. Like it's just kind of a filler color, but there's a lot of it. Uh, it's a hard, healthcare is hard. Um, Especially like when where I work, um, it's not a nursing home. People seem to think it's a nursing home. It is not. We are an unsecured non-medical facility. Nursing homes are a medical facility, um, where a lot more goes down. Um, I do not work in a nursing home. Too much for me. Too much choice is taken away when someone goes into a nursing home. So I can't do that because I I I feel too strongly about personal choice. And I get that some people get to a point in their lives where they need to be told what to do, but that is not for me. Um, it's like you are your own human. I will make sure that you are safe, but when push comes to shove, I'm gonna let you make your own choices as long as it's not going to kill you. And that's probably why I can't do palliative care. I do support death with dignity, absolutely. Um, I because that's just something I believe in. I can't explain that to people. I support death with dignity. Or yeah, yeah. And that's not what I wanted to do. Do. Okay. I have a itty bitty area that I need to work on. Okay. Yeah, it's some stitches up. Let's see if I can get a better angle. Let's see if I can get it to focus a little better too. Eh. A little bit of focus. Oh yeah, and if you have the right people working, like they can be really good programs. But unfortunately, what we run into is that unfortunately it all comes down to money. Because the people paying the taxpayers want to know what we're paying the workers to do, like at work. I can't just say, "Hey, I'm passing meds and I'm making sure they don't fall down the stairs." You'd think that alone would be enough. You think that alone would be enough, but no. I have to fill out pages and pages and pages of paperwork to validate what I am doing in order for us to get paid, even though like you could walk in and you can see the results. Um, but that's a whole nother soapbox. It's like, well, we're keeping these individuals safe. We're keeping them from being homeless, and it's costing you $5 a month. I think you can handle it. Oh, and level three is honestly a very good place to be because they'll make sure he gets meds and meals. Because I work at a level 3 currently. Meds and meals, and they'll encourage him to get out, be social, and do as much as he can on his own, with any hope. Um, yeah, but that's what I tell people is I work in a meds and meals. Is making sure people get their meds, get their meals. And so this is something that a lot of places at the level I work don't have. Um, everybody everybody that I every resident has their own room at my facility. Every resident has their own private room. That is not something that happens very often. Most nursing homes, you share a room. At my facility, everybody has their own room. At most, we can have 48 people. We are relatively small. All of us get to know the residents. Um, yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah, we're my boss is trying to work on that because we're connected to a private pay independent living facility that that seems to get all the money that's donated to our facility seems to go over to the independent facility, so they get outings like going down to Belfast to catch a short cruise. Like, yes, they're private pay. They can do stuff like that. But but they could also they could also like look at the the nonprofit one and maybe give us air conditioning. Yeah, it does kind of suck. Um, It's not fair to the people that are there. Okay, let's. This is the area I'm looking at. Yeah, these last two areas are kind of foobarred, so I'm trying to figure out approximately approximately where I need to be. Yay! My little short piece of string did the job. Yeah, and in my facility, in my half of it too, it is a mix of private pay and Medicare, which I'm very worried about right now. Um, yeah, lots of suck going on there. It's like people are like, "Oh, we need to take care of our elderly. We need to do this. Cut the Medicare. Cut the benefits. But we need to take care of them. Cut their benefits." Yeah, so and those are the same people saying those things. It's like the same people who go, "Oh, we need to take care of our elders. We need to make sure that they live out their golden years." And then they turn around and go, "Fuck the poor." I was uh I was farting around on the internet, which I do quite a bit. Um and I saw that in order to afford a one bedroom apartment in Maine, cuz apparently Maine's awesome now. So, um woo Maine, cuz our governor, I don't like Janet Mills very much. I don't. She vetoed a bill that would have limited the amount of hours that children on in an agricultural setting. So fun fact, there are no child labor laws for farm workers. You heard that correctly. For agricultural workers in the United States of America, there is no age limit. You can have a 5-year-old working 40 hours a week, and there are no laws to stop you. There are no laws telling you that you have to pay and pay that 5-year-old. So, and five might be a little young, but genuinely wish I was kidding. Um, and so Janet Mills vetoed a bill that would have limited the amount of child labor agriculture could have used because she didn't read it properly. And she's like, "Oh, but it'll hurt the family farms." It's like, okay, so how about you line veto things? Because you're the governor, you can kind of do that, I think. If my or you could have vetoed it and go get rid of this particular instance of things. But by vetoing the entire thing, that was already an uphill battle to get through both the House and the Senate here in Maine. By vetoing the entire thing, she allowed for agricultural settings to just exploit child labor, which pisses me the fuck off. But the fact that she stood up to Trump and pissed him off, I don't care if she was right or wrong. Um, she did it. She called him out, and she didn't back down. So, and about the entire situation, it's I've said it once, and I'll say it again. It is taking a micro instance of things and mountain out of a mole, making a mountain out of a molehill. It is such a deeper conversation, such a deeper topic than, oh hey, that person's trans, they shouldn't be in women's sports. Well, again, if a trans woman wants to be in women's sports, then I support trans men being in men's sports. I support it both ways, but we're just focusing on men going after women. And yes, I know women have been oppressed for years. Girls, we need to whip out our thong panties, wave them in the faces of our oppressors, and go, look, we can wear pretty things too, fuckers. Um, I love that this is on ads. At least on my Twitch side. uh, well, good, good. But yeah, oh my goodness. Like, I get it. I get it. As a disabled woman, I get it. As a disabled minority woman, yes, I have a great paint job. I have a great privileged paint job. But under the surface, like, I've had my name changed enough that I recognize my privilege. Um but I get it. But at the same time, we shouldn't be tearing other women down. And and yeah, it's a very complex situation that I don't agree with all the finer details of. But I'm not that person. Like, and it's funny. It's all of this hullabaloo for one individual who, in the crew, in the instance that it happened, everybody was supportive of. Everyone supported that person getting to where they got, knowing who they are. There was no issue. There was no overall issue. I'm sure you had your backwoods bootlickers who were like, oh my god. Estrogen does awful things to a human being if you weren't born processing it. Oh, is the ad break in process now? Maybe. Um, but yeah. Feeling in the spots, working on the chain gang. It just, but it's also very amusing to see how much just one person can change something, how much just one person can upset so many people. And yes, I know exactly what I'm saying as these words are exiting my mouth. But we need to stop and think about that. Is this one person? What can we do? What can we do about it? Like, I have no problems speaking up and standing up for what I want to work this world to be. Um, Honestly, I want a kind world where we can move forward, but allow for everybody to pitch in where they can. Can everybody pitch in? Absolutely not. But we need to give people the opportunity to pitch in where they can. And there are uh I love him. He is great. Like, oh my goodness. Are you guys messaging me? That is that what's going on here? It's like I'm getting over. Yay. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, getting my paycheck came in today, so I have to set up payments, and I'm getting the reminder emails. I think I actually found him just before you started posting him. Like, I found him on TikTok, and I'm like, oh hey, I got, because everybody I really like on TikTok, I've been trying to find them on other platforms just in case. Um, Push comes to shove, I'll pay for a VPN to be able to utilize. Um, I'm close enough to the border that it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to be like, oh hey, yeah, I'm in Canada. Wink wink, nudge nudge. Um, I think after, because I'm not cooking dinner tonight. There are enough leftovers that husband creature can eat whatever he wants. Because I've been cooking past couple nights, so I'm not cooking tonight. Um, so I'm gonna work on the all alone colors. Either that, either that, or I'm gonna work on finishing Umbreon because literally I have 3 things left to do before I can put them together. Like the red felt that I need, I can get that and put that on later because those are his eyes. Yeah, oh yeah. He's balanced. Like, I enjoy how he goes, this is what happened, and he covers both sides. Like, I don't necessarily always agree with both sides. Genuinely, I don't agree with a whole lot of sides most of the time. But I like that he is fair about it. I do need to buy some of his t-shirts though. Like, some of his shirts are I need to I need to I need to actually, and I got paid today, so I might. No, and that's what it is. And that's what I wish more people would see. Is it's not just one side. It's not black and white. There are so many varying shades of gray because things aren't just black and white. There are exceptions to every rule. There are there are finer details that you don't know are going to happen until they do. And and no matter how much you prepare, sometimes you just can't prepare for everything. Um, and you have to be willing to accept that for every 100 people that use something properly, there's going to be one idiot who who is just like derp 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 derp. And unfortunately, in this day and age, we listen to the one idiot who's licking windows instead of the 100 other people who are going, "Hey, this is fine. This works. It's cool. We got this." We are too unfortunately we are too effectively listening to the window lickers, and and that is the best insult I can figure without insulting too many people. It is a window licker. And I know it comes from a deep, dark, bad place, but I'm taking it back. I'm taking it back. I don't know if I should be proud that I'm trying to take back window liquor, but taking it back. It's gonna mean something different. Now, now I gotta move around. Okay, so this top leaf, is all clean of 905, or all done with 905. Let's see, is there any in that weird area a little there? No. Ugh. Okay, so so this there's like there's one spot of 905 like right there, but there's or yeah in this area there's one spot, just one, and I mean all of that is 905. There's a little spot over here, but it's just out of the way, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to fill it in because the edge here, like there's not a whole lot of 905 left. I'm gonna get it done in this session. Oh, that's kind of cool. Eh, I'm looking for my scissors. And like someone popping in might just be like, "Oh, Raw is just a crazy cross stitching liberal," and if liberal means that treating all people with dignity and respect, and basic human decency, makes me a flamey liberal, I am a cross stitching flaming liberal because even people I disagree with, I try to treat with dignity and respect. I don't understand why that they can live their life how they want to live their life, but I have to live my life how they want me to live my life, and that bothers me a lot. And I think that's the biggest thing, is the do as I say, not as I do. Um, like for me, I I am an isolationist when it comes to America. America has stuck their fingers in too many pots of other countries. We 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 want to be the number one. We want to be Team America. Fuck yeah. I'm very much an isolationist. I want us to bring our military home. I want us to tend to our veterans. I want us to help our homeless population, our kids who need help. I want us to treat our population with with the fervor that we are butting into everybody else's problems. If we were as enthusiastic about making sure kids had school lunches as we were about clearing the Gaza Strip, I think that America could be way cooler, but that makes me a flaming liberal. I am very much pro-America. I'm not pro-American government right now, but I am very pro-America. And I will agree with anybody who's like, well, America's fucking nosy. Yes, yes, we are. We need to get our noses out of other people's business. We're that dog that just can't take the word no when we stick our nose in someone else's butt. I recognize the folly of my country. I don't love my country any less. I'm just not a huge fan of the politics. And I agree. I need to write that down. I need to write down flaming cross stitch, flaming liberal cross stitcher or something. What did I say? This is why I need to write things down. Ah. Okay. If I could spell today, that would be fantastic. A flaming liberal stitcher sticker. There, I wrote it down. Okay. Now I need to find where I need to poke stuff. Okay, so last line here, there's that, and then hey. Okie dokie. Now here. Dooby-doo. A little bit of block color, because this whole line right here. Let's see if I can move my camera just a little bit. This entire block right there is going to be all the color that I'm currently working on, so it'll close up quite a bit. Except for two spots. I have this weekend off, so I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm in two of the busier neighborhoods tonight, tomorrow, so I'm super excited about potentially getting 2 color finishes today. And unfortunately, it might be, well, no, because I don't know. Because I might get, with it only being 10:30, I might get the 3 other ones, not 3, but I might get this one done, and I only have one other bigger color. So there might be lots and lots of color swapping later on this stream and potentially in tomorrow's stream. At the same time, might be able to get all the alone colors finished off stream between tonight and tomorrow, and start a new page once I get done the bigger color, which would be just as exciting. I'm just trying to get this last stitch, because I'm running out of string, and it's this last section here. So hi, Peg. I know he came out of the room and you guys ambushed him. Dixie's like, I did no such thing. I'm in here with you. I could not have ambushed him. Pig, go, please. Okay, there's that. No, oh my goodness. I'm just trying to get one stitch. Highlight. Okay. Ish, I have like 15 stitches left of 905. I thought this was a much bigger color. Probably why it was on the either option is because it's not a huge color, but it's fairly combined. Like, it goes in pretty organized lines. So yeah, I have maybe 20 stitches left on it. And then the final color that I have labeled on this page. Excitement! Only 4 more pages till Dionysus makes his appearance. And remember, each one of these pages has 8,000 stitches on it. Ish. I'm at 7,249, so we are in fact closing in on a page finish. Honestly, I've done more stitches today than I thought I had, so we're supposed to be getting like weather here today, like a kind of snowstorm. not supposed to start till approximately when I'm supposed to go into work, so that's always fun. Um, but I need to. I know one thing I'm going to do after stream is put air in my tires. I bought a TP TMPS uh, system for my snow tires because my car with its summer tires has one, but the winter ones don't. So I bought them, and I just lost where I was. La 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 la. Oh, okay. And so, yeah. But one of my tires has a slow leak, and it's mostly cold, associated with cold. Like it holds its air pressure for the most part, but if it even starts getting a little cold, it starts to leak. So that is a summer project that I hope I actually remember this year because I meant to last summer and I didn't. I know that the last color that I work on, like the last big color I have labeled, will fill in a lot of these bigger blotches. I was like, nope, I'm just going down in order. That's what I'm doing is toward when I run towards the end of the colors, I just go down in order because it's like, no, I don't want to work on this color. And then I'll just keep doing that and it gets to the point where it's like, no, I'll just go in order, I'll get it done, numerical order down the list, and it gets it done. Fortunately, I know that one of the colors I labeled as an alone color turned out to be a lot bigger than I thought it to be. So, okay. Hello. Oh, so Sume. So February and March are going to be combined for presents. Um, Umbreon, and I haven't decided on the second one, but there's going to be an Umbreon, and I think it's either going to be Flareon or Vaporeon because I think those are the only other two that I have. I could be wrong, but I'm making those, and those are going to be February and March's presents to be shipped out. Um, I have Umbreon almost done, but because he's very much mostly one color, showing him off until he's done is kind of pointless. It's the Sume. We love when the Sume shows up. Because Sume is kind of like us. Is we just show up at random times, going, hey, hey, I had like free 5 seconds. Send much love. I've been doing that, like at work. If I've had like a moment of downtime, and I see someone is streaming, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna sneak in and say hi. So know that I appreciate the sneakies, the loud sneakies. I know what I'm doing today. Today, today, after stream, because I just got paid, I'm gonna purchase the shipping labels to send out presents for January and December and January. Yeah, I get it. I get that. I had honey nut checks for breakfast. I At night when I come home, because I'm always hungry when I come home from work, but I don't want to have a lot of carbs because it spikes my blood sugar, and I'm having some issues balancing it out in the evenings. So I come home and I buy them at Sam's Club. They are ham and Gouda egg bites. For like four of them, it's like $10, and it's worth every penny. Um, and that's what I do. So, and it's like a ton of protein, which my doctors want me to have a high fiber protein diet because of the celiac disorder and all that fun horse shit. So, but but yesterday I baked me some cookies. Oh yeah, that sounds really good and really greasy, and a whole bunch of my intestinal tract would try to murder me really hard if I ate that. Oh, I hate this. I'm gonna have to start a new piece of string, and I only have like 5 stitches left. I do not have enough string to do the jumping required for the remainder of the stitches. Mark my half there. Hey, eat what you gotta eat to keep the meat suit going. Um, Food is expensive. Food is very very expensive because I pay $10 for 4 egg bites. I get it. Well, no, 8 egg bites. It's two in a package. Um, but today was honey nut checks with milk. Yes. I tell people everything in moderation. I I hate the people who are like with the my plate for the United States of America. We have a government program called My Plate, which is a super judgmental. Well, if you eat this way, you should be a perfectly healthy, skinny person. No, no, that's not how that works. And whenever I had to teach the dietary aspect in the classes that I had to teach, I always made sure to say everything in moderation. No, we've cut, honestly, husband creature and I have cut back so much on eating out. At least at least together. I don't know what he does when he doesn't grab the dinners that I make, but I don't eat out a whole lot. Mostly cuz like if you stop and think about it, I can't have any of the buns that make distinctive sandwiches at any particular fast food place. So, um I can't I'm that person who's like, what do you want me to do with this? So, oh, I love the drink menu at Sonic's. Like we don't really have that variety up here. We don't have like I like Five Guys because of their milkshake variety. All our Dairy Queens are closed right now. I really like milkshakes. Like my milkshakes bring all the me to the restaurant. Um, cause I don't bring the boys to the yard. Actually, I want no boys in my yard except for husband creature. And he doesn't like to be in the yard because generally when he is, I'm making him work. um, yeah. If any boys come to my yard, I'm gonna give you a shovel and you're gonna be working hard. That's where we go. We have. Let's see. We have. I like for me for Dairy Queen. I like the blizzards. Um, I like okay. So I like McDonald's chocolate shakes when their shake machines are actually working. I loved the Shamrock shakes. I'm gonna put that "ud" at the end because they're no longer minty. Like I want my Shamrock shake to taste like I just licked a piece of spearmint. But they're not minty anymore. Um, so it's taken all the joy out. Like I had one last week. Yeah, last Friday because I was gonna murder puppies. I I see. Yeah. I love the Shamrock shakes. We're gonna have to agree to disagree there, Sume. I love mint though. Um, but they've gotten so gross. I remember in sixth grade I went to I lived in the southern part of the state, which was 2 hours from Boston. And I went on a field trip to a World's Fair, like a true to goodness World's Fair, and there was a drink, and it was dark green, and it was a mint shake. It was like it wasn't a soda, it wasn't a milkshake. It was just like a mint juice, and it was good. It was delicious. And like that's what the Shamrock Shakes used to be, and not this shit that they're trying to pass off now. I see. I get a medium because of the sugar content. Again, I funny enough, you would never believe it on how I talk about food, but I do take things in consideration because I do try to practice what I preach. Everything within moderation. I could easily handle a large, but when I get milkshakes, unless it's going to be my meal, which I've done before because I'm a fucking adult. If I want a milkshake for dinner, I will have one. Um, yeah, my microphone's here and my camera's here, so I like to look at the microphone, but you guys can't see. You guys get the side view. Um, yeah. Yeah, I I don't miss having that. Well, I have that risk whenever I eat out because of cross contamination. Honestly, it's like the time I asked for a gluten-free pizza from Domino's, and they put the breadcrumbs on the bottom of the pizza and made me sick. Luckily, wheat only makes it feel like food poisoning, and you're like, raw. That's lucky. Food poisoning sucks. Yes, it absolutely fucking sucks. But it doesn't put me in the ICU like barley does. Okay. 905. 905 is all done on the page. We got one more moderately sized color. And it is almost 11. So I'm gonna take care of 905. And then I'm gonna go on a be right back because I gotta go check on the stove. Because it's not cold, but I have left it unattended for 2 hours, and I just gotta make sure that there's at least one piece of wood on the fire for it to gnaw away for the next hour. Okay, the next color and the last color in the column of that I call the either column, because it wasn't big enough for me to be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this on stream and it's gonna be a lot of progress, but it's also not just like 5 stitches, which I was doing this morning. And I managed to distract myself. I distracted myself that in 10 minutes I couldn't get 10 stitches done. That is a record. Okay, so 905 is gone. It is finito. I actually have to sit down and work out my colors for the next page, which is kind of stunning. Okay. 3750. 3750. Okay. So, 3750. I'm gonna put that there. I'm gonna swap over to my Be Right Back screen, and so I know some of you just arrived, but grab some water, do a little bit of stretching, and I will be right back. Okie doke, and here I am. I'm back. Yeah, I'm alive. I'm dead. Okay. Let's. Taking it off the top of the bobbin. Wanna have extra? La 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 la. It's funny. We have, from where I am currently sitting, I am within 5 miles of 3 McDonald's. I'm within 5 miles of 2 KFC Taco Bells. I want to say 2 or 3 Tim Hortons. Two Tim Hortons. Only one burger. Yeah, only one Burger King. No, 2 Burger Kings. Within a 5 mile range, 2 Burger Kings. 1 Wendy's. Maybe 2. 2 Wendy's. We don't have any Arby's up here anymore. We had one, but it closed. We have a Chipotle, I want to say. Yeah, and that's pretty much the offerings of my area. But I'm really close to a whole bunch of, like, I'm close to the middle of downtown. Like, I'm a mile and a half away from our big event venue, the Cross Insurance Center, and the Bangor, the Main Savings Waterfront Pavilion. I'm also very close to that. So if anyone goes to a concert in Bangor, Maine, who's watching, if you want to meet up, I'm game. I will bring either a dog or my husband, because I know I look big and poofy in person, like on the camera. I know I look big and poofy. I'm actually kind of small. I only realize this when standing next to Husband Creature, because I feel like I'm ginormous. But then Husband Creature brings me back down to earth, and he's like, no, honey, no. You tiny. You're so cute, is generally what I get. I'm big and ferocious. He's like, you might be ferocious, but you're not very big. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna check this out, because I'm already seeing, oh yes, okay, at least there's some grouping. Like, these spots in here are all this color, so we will close some of the spots. I think with my little half string here, I'm gonna tackle all the outliers. Oh my goodness. Okay. What do we got going on? And I'm working with 3750. 3750, 3750. Okay, all the colors seem to match. Sometimes I grab the wrong color. And then it looks Stitch 1 secure. And this is the time where, like, right here, for whatever reason, I have an extra bonus spot that doesn't have any stitching around it. So I'm like, okay, so this color matches. I'm going to fill in the spot. And when it's all done, no one will be none the wiser. Okay, so there's that. Those are those two. Now we're going over here. So we got those 3 white spots. That's supposed to be there. This. It is quite a reach. But that's why I'm using this particular piece. Looking at this just on its bobbin, it looks more like it's blue. But looking at it next to the greens, it's definitely a dark blue green, which I'm seeing why it was utilized, because I don't know how well it shows up on camera. But funny enough, in person there is a behind the bold front grape leaves. There's a behind the leaves leaf. Oh, guys, I gotta share this with you. So, when I first started streaming, I was working at a different job, and desperately trying to get out of it. This job is the job where I was a training coordinator, and I became a lifeguard in order to have the people be able to swim at their summer camp. Now, they had quite literally bought a mansion to turn into a residential place. And this house had a pool. And I was a lifeguard, and I'm like, hey, and I was working for this company, so it wasn't really a huge deal. I'm like, hey, do you guys like once a month wanna to I can come out, I can lifeguard for you guys. I mean, I can set up regular hours that I can come out in the evening and lifeguard for you, because they couldn't use the pool unless they had a lifeguard. And I was the only lifeguard. So at first I was like, hey, I'm willing to go through the train the trainer program, pay for it out of pocket myself, do what I need to do. I'm willing to do this so I can train other lifeguards for you, and so that you can have staff who are lifeguards. And I went through the planning and everything, and then I was told, no, just don't bother. We don't want, you're too aggressive. We don't want you teaching our people anything, essentially. And I went, okay. And now, mind you, I've been away from this company coming up on 3 years. I get a message on Monday going, hey, would you be interested in lifeguarding? Now, I'm still processing. Part of me wants to say yes, because it would be a nice thing to enable people to be able to swim and enjoy a facility at their home. The other part of me is going, and the audacity in you people to be asking anything of me after how you treated me. So I'm kind of I haven't responded to this person yet, but I need to share it with as many people as humanly possible, because I gave my everything to this company. I tried to help where I could. I put my body through some awful things, which I don't regret, because it got me into some good shape. But at the same time, the cojones to be messaging me saying, hey, we finally thought about your offer. And 3 years later, actually closer to 6 or 7, because I offered it as soon as they bought the house. And they told me, no, not interested. The cojones. My boss thinks I should say yes and be like, yeah, for like $50 an hour. Because, I mean, when I do my summer camp stuff in August, which I will be doing again, when I do my summer camp stuff, they pay me $30 an hour. Short piece got me around. I got the bottom stragglers. So now I'm gonna be working up in this area. Yeah, I need to. It's so weird. I'm gonna have to. That'll be one of the. It's on my list to write out the next page for call dance. We're almost at a page finish for him, which is pretty awesome. Not gonna lie. Page finish for Captain Penis. So last night I was looking at my patterns, because I before I crochet, I try to like review the pattern to make sure like I know what I'm kind of getting myself into, and I have two patterns that I really want to try. I have my merlion, and I have my sea serpent. Now my sea serpent is very similar to the meadow dragon. Like it's and both of them are Megan Lap. Um, I have another, and I also have the Velociraptor that I would like to do a feathered version. And all of these patterns, I want to have at least one available for sale at all points in time. Um, but getting them done, they are large, they are large items. So I never want to have more than one available at a time. Like commissions, absolutely. Um, but they are big. So I do have to take into consideration that I have to transport. I'm fighting with a knot right now. How I got this knot, I don't know. But oh my goodness. Just I just want the knot gone. But I'm trying. I'm working on a pink and orange meadow dragon, and I'm super excited about this. I've started on the accent bits because they they don't require any wiring or stuffing or anything like that. So I can work on them and not have to carry around stuffing or any of the fancy extras that generally come with stuff. Oh my god. Oh, you know what? You're just getting snipped. Ad break. Except for me and you, Dragon. Except for me and you. Everybody else can't hear. Oh, it's all over. Either that or it was warning me that an ad break is coming. So one way or the other. Oh, it was just an ad break. Okay. Oh, thank you, Dragon. Apparently, my ads are the same two ads over and over again at Redonkulous. So I gotta take a peep. I thought I had it set for after you peep in 30 minutes after that, but Twitch likes to change things. Okay, let's cut that all done. That's there. Like I know this right here is all one color, but mm, mm. Mm, 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 mm. Little bit of improvising going on right now because I special. Working my way over to the chonka chonk of a solid color right there. out. I'm hoping, I'm hoping that between after stream and tomorrow, I can get most of the little colors done. But tomorrow might be around a little color, just cause. But I think getting a page finish would be a touching would be an appropriate close to February with Call Dates. Because I got a page finish in January for Divine. Now Call Dance, he needs a page finish, so we can get one page closer to seeing him. Nope, not gonna fix it. Let's see. I feel that my sugar is deciding to dive a little bit. Let's see where I'm at. Okay, I am getting a little down there in lows. I might have to swap over. So, anybody who's anti-Trump on Reddit, the Leopards Ate My Face is a great community. I'm gonna swap over and go grab some foods. I'll be right back. It's not gonna be too horribly long because I was kind of preparing for this, but I'll be right back. There I am. I'm back. It's fun when my sugar crashes. I can see all of my retinopathy, and that's when it sucks the most, is because it's most of my field of vision. There we go. There we go. I can't hide it anymore. I can't turn it off. There, I acknowledged. I have a toaster pastry. Can't call it a Pop-Tart, but it's a toaster pastry. We have transitioned to just chatting for the moment. love how that at 11:30, they're like, "Are you sure you want your work alarm?" Yes, yes, I would like my work alarm. If by quarter of one that I've gotten ready, I'm all set to go to work, I don't need it, I will turn it off. But I still need it right now. Okay. I've eaten enough carbs to curb my sugar. Back to the stitches. And if I don't pay enough attention, that's what I really dislike about the freestyle is even when I acknowledge it, it's still ah, and I can't change anything. It's just it's either gonna to bitch at me or it's gonna or this alarm is on and cannot be modified. And I can't like leave it on so I can observe. Like it's just kind of a pain in the ass. It's just very frustrating. I ran out of drink. The hardest part is when you have a low blood sugar, you eat something, and you have to wait 15 minutes. And it's only like supposed to be 15 grams, but the Pup Tart I ate was like 24. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see where it goes. I'll be so upset. Like, I'll be so upset if I can't finish this color. Well, and if I don't, I will just end on. I'll end on wherever the string I'm working on finishes off, and then I'll just work on other colors. But for tomorrow I'm gonna try to leave the bigger alone colors, because we're probably, even though it's 11:30, we're probably going to get really close to being done the 3750, because it has it has this area left to work on and like a little spot down there. So okay, we've done. Oh my goodness. Is anything working? Well, give yourself if uh All it takes is one entry. That's all it takes. Seriously. Oh, well, give yourself your points back for the sound routine that didn't trigger.
They collide within my mind, and I struggle to think with my thoughts in a bind, and I push to the brink of insanity.
My brain is
Lost in thought, I
foggy right now because of
down a path to my inner world,
my sugar crash.
leads me to ponder, and the depths of my emotions swirl. Though the bees can get overwhelming, the inspiration they mold in their buzzing, I find compelling.
I might have to eat more.
Of the power I hold. So I embrace the bees within my brain, even when they drive me insane. For in their chaos, I find a refrain of the beauty and complexity of my inner terrain. You will never understand that this is my norm, and I have chosen to embrace the swarm, the swarm, the swarm, the swarm, the swarm, the swarm.
It hasn't stopped going. My sugar hasn't stopped going down, but it's not dropping as fast. I have about 5 more minutes before I make that judgment call. I might have to end it a little early because my brain is fogged. So, though I didn't get as much done as I could have probably gotten done in 20 minutes, I do unfortunately have to look out for my health. So, I went from, I think it was 1.6%. We are now at 1.64%. We're almost done a page. We have like small colors left to do, which tomorrow we'll work on. Got, let me hit my check mark. Let me hit my check mark. We got 190 stitches done. But remember to drink your water. Take your meds. Be kind to yourself without harming others, and be kind to others without harming yourself, which is why I'm logging off. Thank you for the gift of your time. I will be back tomorrow, 10 to noon, with hopefully we'll get a page finished on Captain Penis all done. And I love you all. Your time is very much appreciated, and I'm lurking in the background if you need me.